Shalom. Giving all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakodash. Double honors as always to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations as always to the elect. And this is Prophecy Watch. All right, getting into a few articles, a few videos, linking things that are happening in the world to the Holy Scriptures. All right. And this was a video here that was uploaded, right, by the elder Apostle Gabar, all right, daily edification, all right, 4. Subscribe and be edified. And as you can see the title of it, all right, if I can get it in the screen, as YouTube has changed this platform, I don't know what they got going on, but requests to all GMS brothers and affiliates, okay, keep begging Yahweh Yahweh Shai to destroy Babylon, all right? And this video couldn't have came at a better time as, you know, brothers and, you know, sisters are catching hell, man. This place is, you can feel the drainage. You can feel how wicked it is. You can, you know, clearly feel, all right, that ultimately we have to be delivered out of this place, as well as you brothers and sisters scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, so for you brothers, all right, make sure that you are constantly praying, and amongst your prayers, all right, you know, what I do is I do, you know, the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. I do the anointing prayer, and I'll also throw up curses. All right, so throw up, you know, heavy curses on Babylon, you know, once you do your prayers, man. All right, because this place got to go. And if this ain't true, everything's through. All right, one of the brothers just put in the chat, you know, challenging us to read Psalms, the 55th chapter, and I was reading it, and it pretty much goes along those lines, man, because, you know, we're going to get into a few things that are happening that are proof, you know, that we're almost out of here. We do these news and prophecies, these updates, you know, to uplift the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, because, you know, within the word, all right, all of the things that are happening, you know, are dictated by what the Lord said would happen. And to see it happen, all right, although we're in hell, it should give us comfort, you know, in the midst of the hell that we're in. Now, this is Psalms 55:1. It says, "Give ear to my prayer, O my power, and hide not thyself from my supplication. Attend unto me and hear me. I mourn in my complaint and make a noise." All right, and the Lord hears the prayers of the saints, all right, as ultimately our prayers are offered up, you know, and it's an order that it goes through, all right, and angels, all right, and Yahweh Shai presents our prayers to the Father, man. Okay, so don't take prayer lightly, okay? It says, "Because of the voice of the enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked, for they cast iniquity upon me, and in wrath they hate me. My heart is sore pained within me, and terrors of death are falling upon me." All right, and death, all right, most definitely is compassing us. But this was a beautiful video, man. It was heartfelt. You know, brothers put some beautiful scriptures up here. This is GMS North Carolina 773. Ezekiel 24:6. "Wherefore thus saith the Lord God, woe to the bloody city, all right, to the pot whose scum is therein, and whose scum is not gone out of it. Bring it out piece by piece, let no lot fall upon it." All right, Zephaniah 3:1, same brother, the elder Hawad. "Woe to her," Zephaniah 3:1, "woe to her that is filthy and polluted, the oppressing city." All right, beautiful. Amawanga Bar, GMS Awakening 144, Amawanga Bar. Psalms 34:17, "The righteous cry, and Yahweh heareth, and delivereth them out of all of their troubles." Just like when we were in Egypt. All right, it was as this brother here, GMS Dedication, Exodus, the brother Shaquat, Exodus 3, all right, 9-10, okay. "Now therefore," all right, behold, the cry of the children of Israel has come up to me, and I have also seen the oppression wherewith, all right, the Egyptians oppressed them. Verse 10, come now, therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. Okay, so some more beautiful scriptures up there. But we're living in a time where you can tell that the Lord is coming through on his promise, and he's hearing our prayers. Things are happening. So we're just going to get into a few articles, man, and show you, we have to get out of here, okay? Because this devil, okay, is losing his mind. We can start out here, all right, which, we went to camp yesterday, man, and I felt terrible. All right, since that point of going to camp till now, I've felt sick. All right, and this is not the first time this year that's happened. All right, and you can tell that they are spraying something more heavily than before in the air. Okay, the devil is preparing to make war. All right, bring war on the people, and he wants you weakened. He wants you docile. All right, and ultimately, we're gonna need the covering of the Holy Spirit to get us through this, man. Okay, because they're getting ready to roll. Okay, but as you can see here, Pilate testifies that Gil Bates, we say his name like that, is spraying air vax, all right, M, all right, to the R, to the N, to the IZA on humanity via, all right, chettrails. Now, we know that they forced that juice, on people, and there were talks about putting it in the food for the people who didn't want to, take it in the form of the juice. And now they're saying, okay, well, we're going to put it in the air, okay, which that they're doing something. And if it wasn't for the Lord, the days shortened. Let's get that real quick. The days shortened. I said Mark 13 and 24, I believe. No flesh will be saved, man. Mark 13 and 20, and except the Lord have shortened those days, no flesh will be saved. But for the elect's sake, whom he have chosen, he have shortened the days. And you can clearly see it's already July. Okay, it's already July, man. Okay, it was just New Year's. Now, all right, we're pretty much past the middle of this year. All right, getting ready to go into the latter part of the year. Okay. And here we are, okay? The Lord is speeding this thing up, okay? It says, Pilate testifies that this man is spraying air juice, all right, on humanity via the chettrails, all right? And every day you look up, okay, there's planes flying over you that are just spraying and polluting the air. And you have to ask yourself why. And Satan's with them because the planes never crash. You never heard of one of those chemtrail planes crashing. Satan's with this man. Okay, but he's getting ready to be taken down. It says Gil Bates is spraying, all right, this, all right, on dense urban populations and rural areas with low juice uptake, according to the commercial airline pilot who has come forward to blow the whistle on chettrail operations in North America and Europe. Okay, and you can look up the video here. You could look at a little bit of it. Wow. So we got to get the hell up out of here, man. This is crazy. Okay, this man is losing his mind, man. All right, this is a part of the devil coming down with great wrath, man. Let's get that. In Revelation, the 12th chapter. That's exactly what this is. Revelation chapter 12. And I started at 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, all right, because he's polluting the air, he's polluting the water, he's polluting the food, okay? He's polluting everything, and he's doing it on purpose. You're starting to see more and more food All right, and even plants get recalled. Let's see, I think I had something. I'll see if I can bring it up, but there was a maybe it's here. Older entries. It's hot as hell. You know they're doing something to the atmosphere. This hurricane Beryl, all right, which Beryl is scriptural. Okay, when you look up Beryl in the scriptures, real quick. Okay, you know that was a stone, which I believe is a greenish color. All right, that was ultimately used in the building, the temple, the sanctuary. It's talked about, when Ezekiel describes the chariots. All right, here in Daniel 10:6, Yahweh Shai is said to have a garment, all right, that was the color of Beryl. All right, and when you look up Beryl, okay, you look up the word Beryl. The Hebrew is Tha-Ra Shashash. Okay, it says a precious stone, a semi-precious gem, perhaps a chrysolite, yellow jasper, or other colored stone. So this stone is in the scriptures, all right. But this hurricane, all right, and this in the scriptures to describe, here in Daniel 10:6, Daniel saw he saw Yahweh Shai, all right. It says, then Daniel 10:5, then lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with the gold of Uphaz, all right. His body was also like the Beryl, because he had a garment on, all right. And his face was as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like into colored brass, all right. So he was a brown-skinned man, okay, and the voice of his words were the voice of a multitude, all right. So Beryl, all right, is in the scriptures, man. Let's see if we can look it up, so you can see a picture of it. But it's interesting that this storm, which, pray for brothers, all right, and sisters who are in these particular places where this storm is hitting. Had a few brothers whose lights were off, but nothing too crazy. But let's see if we can. Goodness gracious, Beryl stone. All right, and we're just rolling in the spirit. It's nothing. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a greenish. Sometimes it can be yellowish. You got different versions, but that's that. I mean, you could look up more on that, but very interesting that this storm, is named after this particular stone. Hurricane Beryl makes landfall in Texas, which we've experienced a little rain, some weird weather, but nothing too crazy. But all you have to do is just throw up prayers for the brothers. I know in Houston it hit a little harder. So some of their lights were off, but make sure you're throwing up prayers. Brothers in Jamaica, brothers in Florida, different parts. Just pray for the body, all right, because there's a lot going on in the world. And again, our faith is going to be tested, all right. But this hurricane, as you can see, is in the news, and some brothers believe it could be, Harp, Esau, Edom, using his left hand blessing to bring about, catastrophic events on the earth. It's all a part of what we just read, all right. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. 30-year-old actor dies suddenly. Doctors have no explanation. I wonder why. All right. But chia seeds are recalled. Okay, possible risk level. It was something here we go. 40 types of spinach products have been recalled due to traces of deadly, all right, listeria. So the food is being tainted purposely. It's being recalled, all right. They're talking about bringing about these fake foods, all right. Even here, Bill Gates orders governments to replace cow milk, because you remember within this whole climate agenda, cows are the enemy. Nature is the enemy with creamy maggot milk. You see what I'm saying? Bug milk. Let's play this.
Into milk is a dairy alternative that we make from black soldier fly larvae. We take the insects and we process it into a dairy alternative. It forms a rich and creamy liquid which looks and acts just like dairy. Into milk is very rich in protein, fat, calcium, iron and zinc, which is really good for you. And it's got a very creamy mouthfeel.
Yo, these heathen gotta be stopped, man. The other day, I think I showed it on one of the News and Prophecies. Over in China, they took human skin and made some weird smiley face with eyes. Okay, now when we say these heathen got to be taken down, okay, pretty much, you know, everybody say that we're crazy, we're taking it too far, we're hateful. But look what these heathen are doing with the earth, man. Goodness freaking gracious, man. The world needs alternatives to survive. All right. Insects are vital for the future of food because they require very little land and they don't damage an environment like livestock. So again, it's an all-out assault on nature, on life. Okay.
The world needs alternatives to survive. Insects are vital for the future of food because they require very little land. They don't damage the environment like livestock. They don't produce greenhouse gases. And they meet the demand for ice cream. The world is going to struggle.
And look who they're giving it to. Look like maybe, I mean, it could be Ham. All right. You know, could be Jake. Who knows?
Struggle to produce enough food.
Look how she looking at her. And they sitting there eating that shit. Maybe Ham. Maybe Ham.
For the growing population. And I find
she looked like maybe Levi, but who knows?
Insects a very viable option.
Can you believe it's made from insects?
Hi, I'm Leah Bessa. I live in Cape Town and I make dairy alternatives from insects.
Yeah, this is the new world, man. Okay? Look at this madness. Okay, we'll get into that. But yeah, this devil is losing his mind, okay? 40 types of spinach. Okay, recalled. Every time you look up, there's food recalls. Okay? Chia seeds. Okay? Pretty soon you won't be able to eat nothing. All right, and then here they are, and they're going to come with the solution to it all, which is their fake foods. Okay? So again, make sure you're praying to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to destroy this place, man. To take this devil down, because these heathen are losing it. Okay, they're going absolutely mad. Okay, let's see, where were we at? Let's go back. See if we can look at a little bit of this.
Bill Gates is spraying airborne mRNA on dense urban populations and rural areas with low vaccine uptake, according to a commercial airline pilot who has come forward to blow the whistle on chemtrails operations in North America and Europe. As the globalist elite find it harder to convince humanity to submit to COVID mRNA shots and endless boosters seen right into people's lungs, bypassing the need for injections and the need for consent. The climate change narrative is nothing more than a cover story. How do we know? Declassified documents released decades ago prove the real genocidal intent of the government's top secret chemtrail agenda.
This next story is so unbelievable, we didn't think it could possibly be true. But after receiving thousands of records and declassified reports from the Army, it's confirmed that during the Cold War, the United States military conducted secret tests on unsuspecting people in the city of St. Louis. A local sociologist will make her findings public tomorrow, but she spoke first to the I-Team's Lisa Zigman.
Lisa Martino-Taylor's life work has been to uncover details of the Army's ultra-secret military experiments carried out in St. Louis and other cities during the 1950s and 60s.
This study was secretive for a reason. They didn't have volunteers stepping up and saying, yeah, I'll breathe zinc cadmium sulfide with radioactive particles.
These Army archive pictures show how the tests were done in Corpus Christi, Texas in the 1960s. In Texas, planes were used to drop the chemical, but in St. Louis, the Army placed chemical sprayers on buildings and station wagons. City officials were kept in the dark about the tests. The Cold War cover story was that the Army was testing smoke screens to protect cities from a Russian attack. The truth, according to Martino Taylor, was much more sinister.
It's pretty shocking. The level of duplicity and secrecy. Clearly, they went to great lengths to deceive people.
Some things don't change. The government is still going to great lengths to deceive the people. Only now the smokescreen is climate change rather than the Cold War.
The greatest concentration of this compound was sprayed near the Pruitt-Igoe housing complex just south of downtown St. Louis. It was home to 10,000 low-income people, and an estimated 70% were under the age of 12.
Martino Taylor claims they all unknowingly inhaled this compound morning, noon, and night so the government could measure its effects on their lungs.
So this was in violation of all medical ethics, all international codes, and the military's own policy at that time.
Fast forward to 2024, and everybody in North America and most of Europe is inhaling toxic chemicals and airborne mRNA, according to whistleblower pilots, who reveal that governments are working hand in glove with the military and private contractors to operate the top secret operations. According to one commercial airline pilot who's been doing in-depth research into chemtrails, there are thousands of people in the US, and as many again across Europe, who are involved in the business of chemtrails, most of whom have some idea of what they're doing. Speaking anonymously, with his voice digitized to protect his identity, the pilot, who asked to be called John, explains that many people within the aviation industry are fearing for their lives.
Everybody working in aviation understands the stakes are high and whistleblowers get whacked. They don't last long. The stakes are too high. You see what happened to that Boeing guy? All he did was try and talk about safety, cutting corners, basic things. Try talking about chemtrails. He won't last a minute. Everyone working on chemtrails in any capacity understands this. There are thousands of these people, and none of them are talking. You've got the pilots, many of them are military or ex-military, and they know how to keep quiet. Then you've got commercial planes involved too. These guys have signed NDAs, and they understand the gravity of what they're doing.
And basically, we're living in a time where, hey, the Lord is, let's get Psalm 68. Psalms, the 68th chapter. All right, so we need deliverance, man. Psalm 64, maybe. Psalms, the 64th chapter, and 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword, their propaganda, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. This whole climate thing, it's bitter words. It's a lie. It's propaganda, so that they can hijack humanity, all right, and implement what they want, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect, all right, the Israelites, the elect. Really, what they're trying to do, all right, is alter the elect to where we're no longer recognizable to the Most High through Yahweh Shai, and we can't be saved. Thus, his plan of regaining a birthright is complete, because when it's all said and done, the Heavenly Father is going to send his son back to deliver physical descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right. Now, we know when you deal with, Gil Bates and his plan to block the sun, we know that that's tied to Jeremiah, the 31st chapter. Right. When you read Jeremiah, the 31st chapter, it tells you Jeremiah 31 and 35, thus saith the Lord, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon, and the stars of the light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. Yahweh, the Lord of hosts, is his name. If those ordinances depart from before me, saith the Lord, then the seed of Israel shall also cease from being a nation before me. So if the ordinance of the sun, the moon, the stars, and everything else that the Lord had ordained can be stopped, then ultimately what will happen is the seed of Israel would cease from being a nation. See? And if heaven can be measured and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast out the seed of Israel for all they have done. So ultimately, we wouldn't have any mercy if this devil was able to stop those ordinances of the sun and the moon. And again, when you go into what this devil was doing, that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to block the sun. Okay. He's also spraying all of this stuff in the air so that he can alter who we are. All right. So that ultimately we can be blamed and that he can have the victory. But the water Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, that there's a remnant, all right, who won't be, ultimately we're going to catch hell. He may even get sick. Some of us may even go back to the spirit world, who knows. But overall, a remnant is going to be delivered. And those who pass away, hey, their works do follow them if you were right in the spirit. So when Yahweh returns, you get your reward anyway. You'll be raised back up. So it's no way to lose. And we have to understand these things as we're going through this straight gate, because this is crazy. You see, this is crazy. Now let's go back to where we were. See, they're trying to shoot in secret at the perfect by putting all of this stuff in the food, in the air, in the water, drugs they put in the neighborhoods, the music. They're trying to perpetually cut us off from being a nation before Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. It says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. All right. They commune in laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? See, they search out iniquities. So secrecy was their claim to fame. But now we're living in a time where, again, prophecy said the man of sin would have to be revealed. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. See, their minds are deep. It's not just regular wickedness. Okay, they've studied who you are. They've studied your genetic makeup of all of the nations, but especially you Israelites. They know what to put in the food to throw you off. They know what music to throw you off. They know how to put you in a trance. All right, they know what to do to cut, make the Most High mad at you. All right, and they're doing a lot of these things secretly. Okay, so we need the covering of Yahweh Shai. We need to lean on that blood so that we can't be blamed. All right, there's a certain amount of Israelites known as the elect who are blameless, who are covered under that blood. All right, who none of these things that this devil is bringing will have power over. We have victory over those things. The beast's image is marked. Okay, it says, yeah, their heart is deep, and their minds are deep in wickedness. All right, they it's not, again, the power that they have and the leverage they have, the money they have, the influence they have, the ability to do all of this stuff in secret. All right, these universities are basically labs of just where they just, create things and, experiment on people, on animals. They just able to do it, and really, how do you stop them? All right, the police ain't gonna run up in there and stop them. They may do these little, news specials as if they're really tackling the issue, but overall, this stuff is going on every day. The food is all fake, tainted, which fulfills prophecy that we would eat our bread defiled. Okay, but again, we're in a time where it's getting worse. But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. Okay, and that starts with this word going out. All right, he's hurt. So shall they make their own tongue to fall on themselves. All that see them shall flee away. See, some people are starting to flee away from their asses and wake up to the fact that this man is really the devil. Meanwhile, Christians are following Israelites around while this man is able to do this kind of wickedness. Okay, make you drink maggot milk. Yeah, that's his plan. You're going to be drinking maggot milk because the creation of the Most High through his son and the Alahayim, all right, on what he intended to be on the earth. It's destroying the earth. No, you are destroying the earth. Okay? So again, their own tongues are falling on themselves. Let's see if we can get a precept to that. This is all prophecy. When we see them telling on, whistleblowers and people coming out, this all fulfills what is written. Okay? Psalms 59:12, for the sin of their mouth and the word of their lips, let them even be taken in their pride, and for cursing and lying which they speak. Let's see. Psalms 40:9, as for the head of those that compass me about, let the mischief on their own lips cover them. Job 15:6, thine own mouth condemneth thee, and not I, yet thine own lips testify against thee. Okay. Proverbs 12:13, the wicked is snared by the transgression of his lips, but the just shall come out of trouble. So again, their own tongues is falling on themselves, man. That's a big part of his downfall is division. See, a kingdom divided, as we're going to get into a few other things. All right, speaking to that. Let's look at a little bit more of this, then we'll move on.
They have to understand what they're doing because they sign dangerous goods declarations whenever there are hazardous chemicals on board. These commercial planes are modified with conversions that are easy to roll on, roll off. But these pilots, yeah, you know what they know what they're doing. The same goes for engineers and air traffic controllers. They can't not know. Chemtrail planes don't appear on flight radar. A lot of people have noticed this while watching a plane leave grid-like patterns above their houses in the countryside. There's no trace of the plane on flight radar websites. Ghost planes. So air traffic control
and those chemtrails, you can get up at 3 a.m, 4 a.m, they're spraying. And that's a part of blocking the sun too. All right, because really the sun is not hitting the Earth's atmosphere, all right, at the rate that it once was. This means that the plants, the herbs, all of these things have been diminished. Okay, as it says in the book of what's that, Jeremiah 12 or 14? No, Jeremiah 12, maybe in 14. Herbs. Because the way we eat and take in the sun is by eating, all right, herbs and things that are, the sun shines those rays down on, vitamin D they talk about. Everything we needed is in the earth, but he's messing up the process. So there's literally they spray barium, aluminum, all right, in the sky, which when you look that up, the priest Pashai brought this out some years ago. When you look that up on the periodic table, I believe, I forget the name of it. It's Baal. All right, they're spraying barium, aluminum in the air, and that pretty much adds up to Baal. Okay, so the earth is suffering. We're not just a bunch of angry, uncouth Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans mad about slavery. Yeah, we understand that, but it's deeper than slavery. Actually, slavery happened to us because of our own wickedness. Though you will pay for it because you went too far, but the earth is important, man. Okay, the profit of the earth is for all. You see? And he's hijacked the earth and made it into a hub of iniquity, and we had to see it ran like this. So there's a whole thick, all right, cloud of chemicals that are blocking the sun from really hitting the earth. And what's getting to the earth is chemical rays. All right, this man is losing his mind. Okay, we everything's dumbed down. Jeremiah 12:4. How long shall the land mourn and the herbs of every field wither? For the wickedness of them that dwell therein, the beasts are consumed. See, and the birds, because they say, he shall not see our last end. And who's saying, all right, that you're not going to see our last end? They call their lands after their own names. Let's see if I can. Yep, Psalms 49:11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever. Their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. And America is an example of that, man. Okay, Africa is all of these countries, all right, continents have been conquered. Named after Esau. The elements are named after Esau. Okay, the planets, all of these things are named after their gods, man. So this is speaking about you Edomites, and your inward thought is that you're going to continue forever, and this is why you have planned to establish this NWO to where nobody can get outside of your reach through this digital hub you're trying to accomplish, man. Okay? You're trying to set up. And the Elder Ariala was just doing a video. All right, this is on Remnant Say 144 Ba. Okay? Check this out. Path to the MOTB digital public infrastructure, man. All right, and it's a good video. You have to finish it. But it says, what are the tools of the new world? Okay? Everybody should have a digital ID. Everybody should have a bank account. Okay? Everybody should have a smartphone. All right? Then anything can be done. Everything else is built upon that. All right? Digital ID is where this whole thing is going. Okay? And we always follow the biometric, updates to show you, okay, mobile driver's licenses, a more secure digital identity. Okay? This is where it's going. And then eventually, all right, you will be identified, all right, and surveilled from the inside. Okay? Mississippi, all right, has a deadline for the real ID. Okay? So things are changing. Okay? Things are changing. All right? They're gradually moving you into this MOTB system now. You can watch this video. You can look up this article on the People's Voice. Everything is fact checked. It's a good thing about that site. But let's move on to a few things. Also proving that we're at the very end. Okay, NATO members fear French withdrawal. Okay, so here we go. All right, one of the things that we always follow is how this beast system is going to break up, which is prophetic. Okay, the beast, which is NATO, EU, is going to hate the whore. All right, now NATO member states are seriously concerned about the risk of the far right entering government in France. Okay, and there's getting ready to be uproars in France. I believe it already is. They got a lot going on. It says, with the French far right looking poised to win a large number of seats in parliament, NATO member states are growing worried about France's future commitment to the U.S.-led bloc and its efforts to support Ukraine. So again, France, all right, among other countries that are part of this beast system, are basically reneging on their commitment to the U.S. Okay? Call halal Yahweh Bashmian Shai. Okay? And they're tired of the warmongering, and they see what's happening in Ukraine. Okay? And this is, again, all prophetic. Revelation chapter 17 and 14. All right? Because this beast system is going to make war with the Lamb. All right? But the beauty of it is that he's going to have them warring with each other. Okay? Once America's destroyed and all of that, Yahweh Shah, these countries are going to, as it's written in the book of 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter, upon Yahweh Shah's return, there's going to be a great war. All right? Let's get that real quick. And this is kind of just like off the top. There's no real structure. I'm just, moving around, rolling in the spirit. So, forgive me. Okay, I'm just a little bit all over the place. Let's start at around 30. Let's see here. Boom. I started at 29. This is a very beautiful chapter. 2nd Esdras chapter 13 and 29. It says, behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth, and he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. Okay, see? And one shall undertake to fight against one another, one city against another, one place against another, and one people against another, and one realm against another. Okay, so there's not going to be nothing but division on the earth, okay, before the Lord returns. And at that time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall happen which I have showed thee before. And then shall my son, showing you the Most High has a son for you All right, I seen a apocrypha believer denying the Son of the Lord on a video some years ago. It was like, well, what do you say about this scripture? It says, and then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. All right, he's going to come down, okay, out of the sky. He's gonna crack the clouds. Okay, that's how bad things are going to be, that the Lord is going to have to send and the top angel in the heavens from the right hand side to come deliver us, man. And when all the people hear his voice, the fire, the destruction, every man shall in their own land leave the battle that they have against one another. All right. And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them willing to come and overcome him by fighting. But he shall stand up on the top of Mount Zion, deliver the elect. And Sion shall come and be showed to all men, being prepared and builded, like as thou sawest a hill graven without hands. And this is ultimately the elect being beamed up into that chariot. And this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, for which their wicked life will fall into the tempest. Okay, the juice, the maggot milk. Pretty sure they'll have maggot sour cream too, maggot yogurt. Okay, they have roach milk. Okay, when you look it up, okay, they have roach milk that they're talking about using as well. So this man is just completely out of his mind. Let's see if we can find that. How to milk a roach. Is cockroach milk the next superfood? Okay.
You're done, almond milk. There might be a new milk coming to town, and it's about to crawl right into the dairy aisle at the supermarket. Cockroach milk.
Anyway, I don't drink milk. All right. Sometimes, maybe some cashew or almond milk, but I'm lactose. But we got to get the hell up out of here. And again, they've destroyed everything. Everything that was made to be good, they've destroyed it. So now cockroach milk, maggot milk, and all of this folly, which the Son of the Lord is going to come back to rebuke all of these inventions, the MOTB, okay, stuff like this. Okay, China set to release killer robots into battle. What can you do? You're going to need a divine intervention. Okay? China is on course to deploy killer robots in battle within 2 years. All right. Yada, yada, yada. They got robotic dogs. So again, we're going to need divine intervention. But as you can see here, getting back to what I was talking about. All right. These nations, these heathen, are going to leave the battle they have against another, and they're going to try to come and fight the Son of the Most High. But it's going to be nothing they can do. It's going to be a first round knockout. Okay. And as we see here in Revelation, the 17th chapter, I thought I had it up. All right. The victory for the Lamb. This beast system, which is being described, all right, the doom of Babylon is described here in this chapter. All right, these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. All right, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. And he said unto me, the waters which thou seest, which the whore sitteth, all right, meaning they control all of the people, are peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues. All right, they control the world, their policy. They've been the hammer of the earth. And the 10 horns, which thou sawest upon the beast, which are the vassals, okay, the subordinate, the EU, which started out as 10 nations. Now it's around 28 because they have the whole world in their hand. All right. It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For the Most High have put it in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree to give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High be fulfilled. So this here, all right, where we see even NATO members, all right, NATO and the EU members are reneging, all right, on their commitment to the U.S., which the Heavenly Father put it in their spirits to all give their power to the beast for the purpose of, all right, Babylon the Great being a power. But now they're tired of it. Okay? They're tired of it, man. They're losing allies. Okay? And everywhere you look, the small hats are getting cursed out too. So Babylon and the small hats, all right, they got an evil eye turned towards them, you know? But you can look, you know, more into that. We know what Daniel, the 2nd chapter, goes into. We always bring these things out. But this is where we are. Before the kingdom is set up, the revival of Rome will be divided, mixed. Partly, you know, iron, partly miry clay. Because they still have the power of the sword, but the sword is being divided. And they don't agree on a lot of things. This is all right, biblical prophecy being fulfilled. Now, another thing, all right, this is from Redacted. Okay, BRICS bombshell. They just scored a knockout. Another blow to the U.S. dollar. Redacted with Clayton Morris, all right, and his woman, his wife.
Well, more bad news for the U.S. dollar as Russia lays out plans for an independent BRICS financial system. That means that more of the world's money will just go around the U.S. economy that is already limping, in pain, and insolvent. Now, why are they doing that? Because the U.S., we did it to ourselves. We sanctioned our way out of the game. Talk about shooting yourself in the foot. Now, over the weekend, speaking at the 12th World Peace Forum in Beijing, the Russian ambassador to China, Igor Morgulov, said this: "We are leaving the space dominated by the dollar and developing mechanisms and tools for a truly independent financial system. Its creation is not possible in the near future, but the steps taken in this direction are obvious." Now,
and this is going to lead to war. Okay, currency wars leads to physical wars. We'll speed that up, but we already know what this, all right, speaks to. Let's get the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, right? Okay, we in some beautiful times. So the Lord is hearing our prayers. We got to keep praying. We got to keep fervently believing, man. I mean, remember, the faith of the elect under the blood of Yahweh Shai, man, is how we get the victory, man. Okay? Habakkuk chapter 2. This is time to get the hell up out of here, man. Jake is losing it in Israel, out of Israel. Just everybody's weird. Okay, you don't even want to deal with a woman no more because everything's defiled. I see women, I look straight. I'm good. I don't need, man. Everything in this world is absolutely defiled. Now we know as prophecy is fulfilled, the Lord is going to be pairing, you know, brothers and sisters. But man, chasing women should be the last thing on you brothers' minds in this time, you know. But every man has his own spirit. But you know, life itself is played out. The human experience is not what it used to be. It's you can really feel, all right, a strain, a squeeze, you know, everything. It's a mourning in the earth, which speaks to Isaiah the 24th chapter. Now, Habakkuk 2 and 5, yea, also because he transgressed by wine. I start at 4. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. He ain't right. He's wicked, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also because he transgressed by wine. All right, his philosophy, the way he runs the earth. Okay, his religion, which is Satanism, rebellion. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. He's all over the earth, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. All right, and the dollar was a big part of that. Okay, now he's building this digital hub. He got all these plans to have world domination. All right, we just read in Revelation 17, all right, that the whore, all right, sitteth on the waters, which is the people. Okay, it says, shall not all these take up a parable against him? All of these nations, are taking up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe to him that increaseth in that which is not his. How long into him that laden himself with thick clay. So all of these nations are cursing out America, man. They're tired of it. And the BRICS is a big part of the fulfillment of this prophecy. Although we know the elites have their hands in it, but the elites don't even agree. I bought yet, okay, which is what? Debt. All right. And a couple of weeks ago, we did a video on fractional reserve banking, magic money, which all goes back to Babylon. Okay. And as these nations have taken on the dollar, they've taken on debt. And now these nations are trying to operate outside of the dollar. And the Lord did a real cold chess move by Saudi Arabia, which was, Babylon's biggest ally when it came to the, petrodollar and the oil. They reneged on re-signing the petrodollar deal. All right, which you're not going to see immediate effects, but these things are going to have an effect over time. And eventually, all right, as we know, the devil is going to go to war. He's going to use these things to justify war.
Now, he said that the countries that are game for this new system outside of the U.S. dollar are Brazil, Russia, obviously, India, China, South Africa, Ethiopia, Iran, and Egypt. We've also seen...
And this sounds like Ezekiel 38. A lot of those nations she just mentioned are mentioned in Ezekiel 38 as countries that are going to, align themselves with Russia to formulate their own beast system.
Interest from other countries such as Argentina. Now, why would they do this? Well, because the U.S. has not been a neutral arbiter of international trade. On the contrary,
Look, the end of American empire is here. The American empire is near the point of no return. Thanks to Brandon, thanks to Obama, Soros. I hope you all realize this is being done intentionally. Yeah, they're systematically taking this place down, but it's all the will of the Lord. Okay?
Bully. Here's what Russian state media TASS says, that the U.S. uses sanctions and dollars as a weapon for political goals. That is true. The quote at the bottom, he says, the United States and its allies use illegal unilateral sanctions as a tool of coercion against those like Russia who do not agree with the use of the dollar as a weapon to achieve political goals. Now, it's hard to argue against that. We, in fact, do this, even though it's against our better interest. Why? Well, recently, Representative Thomas Massie told Tucker Carlson that being the world's currency allows us to survive this incredibly high national debt that we run on this clock behind me at this very moment, right? Why can we operate with a national debt like that? Because of our privilege of being the world's currency, but we don't take that privilege very seriously. We weaponize it. And if we don't stop that, then we have to actually deal with this debt behind me. Here's how he explains it. Watch.
Right now, we're able to finance it because we're the world's reserve currency. Right. And when we print more money, which we're doing all the time, the Fed is doing that, we're actually taxing the world. Everybody in the world who holds dollars gets like a 3% transaction fee. I'd say we're kind of like the credit card at the gas station that gets 3% because you're using that credit card. Right. Well, we get 3% from inflation we cause because the world is using our currency. And we can do that as long as they use our currency. But I think it's going to end at some point. They're going to quit using our dollars as reserve currency. I mean, I watched...
And this is what we're witnessing. This is a fulfillment of prophecy. This is the beauty of us going into these things.
Your interview with Putin, and one of the things, whether you hate him or not, one of the things he said that is true is when we sanctioned him, before we sanctioned Russia, 70% of their transactions were in U.S. dollars. And after the sanctions, it's less than 20% of their transactions are in U.S. dollars. So
they still have transactions with the U.S. It's just lessened. So a sanction or embargo can't be the mark of the beast. I just wanted to put that out there for the ISUPK and anyone else teaching that garbage.
Doing with all these sanctions, ironically, we're shooting ourselves in the foot every time we sanction a country and say you can't use our currency to have a transaction. We're taking away our ability to charge them 3% for that transaction, because when we print 3% more dollars, we're just taking that money.
And we're also sending a really clear signal, which is the dollar's not safe for you.
Right.
That's the reserve currency because it's a safe haven, because it's a stable country. It's the most stable country in the world, and we're not going to weaponize the dollar because that would be shooting ourselves. But suddenly we are.
And they'll tolerate like 3% because we're not backed by dollars, we're backed by aircraft carriers right now. So they'll sort of tolerate that 3%. But one of the things we recently did in Congress, we passed something called the Repo Act, where we said we're just going to seize all of Russia's sovereign assets in the United States. Well, it turns out a lot of that is treasury debt that they've agreed to buy so that they can hold dollars. And here's the problem with that. When people see that we've seized their money that they gave us in exchange for these treasury notes, then other countries won't want to buy our debt. It's already happening.
See, they don't want to buy the debt. Woe to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. That debt. See? Call halal Yahweh Bashim Yahushai for this truth, man.
And the price of a long-term bond.
Imagine not coming into this truth and reading Habakkuk, reading this and living in this world today. You be thinking clay from the high school. Elementary school. He laid on himself. You wouldn't know what that meant. So the Holy Spirit has blessed us, man. We are blessed beyond measure to have this truth, man, in these latter days, to know what's going on. Before they come forth, I tell you of them, the Lord says.
The Treasury puts out, it's already gone above 4%. It's like over 4.5%. They don't want to buy them anymore because, we probably wouldn't seize Great Britain's assets, but I could see us seizing China's assets.
That seems like theft. Just like take a country's assets, that belongs to the people of the country, right? It's not just Putin.
It
is theft.
It is theft. That's why it says, woe to him that increaseth in that which is not his. How long? Woe to him. See? There's a parable taken up against this man. He threw. Okay? Let's see here. James 5:1, go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you. Okay, here it is. You have all of these resources. You ain't helping the earth. Everybody's in hell while you sitting, all right, with all of the this is why these regular, everyday so-called white people are mad at your ass, because they catching hell under you, you elites. Everybody's worn out. Everybody's confused. So while all of this confusion is going on, at least we got this truth, man. You have heaped treasures together for the last days. See? Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them that have reaped have entered into the ears of the Lord of armies. Sabaoth. Psalms 94:3, Yahweh, how long shall the wicked how long shall the wicked triumph? Okay. 1 Peter 4:7, but the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. Goddamn cockroach milk. What?
Theft. Just like take a country's assets, that belongs to the people of the country, right? It's not just Putin.
It is theft. It's immoral, but even if you're okay with the amorality or immorality of it, it's short-sighted. Because eventually it'll catch up with us.
So did any of the dumbos you work with understand that? Did you say, wait a second, if we do this, first of all, it's wrong, and if we're going to be a beacon of light and order and justice in the world, we should abide by those principles. But even if you don't care about even if, as you said, you're amoral, it's self-defeating to do this. Do they understand that?
Some of them understand it, but it doesn't matter. They'll still vote for something like the RICO Act anyway because it's popular.
Okay, so that popular bit, it really blows my mind, because that means that your elected representative thinks that you want them to bully other countries and hurt our own economy to be the hegemonic world power. Do you? If you don't, you should tell them. And in fact, look at the numbers. When Russia actually began the conflict in Ukraine, they had $650 billion worth of U.S. reserve. And the U.S. said, we don't care. We don't care if they hold that for us. And it does well for us. We're playing politics. But Russia knew that the U.S. might do this prior to the war, so they started selling off dollars and stocking up on gold. Do you know that now they are the world's 5th largest holder of gold, worth about $140 billion. Well, that used to be us in the United States. Before World War II, we actually had 40% of the world's gold before we messed that up. Messed with a different word, if you know what I mean.
Your gold and silver is cankered. See? As we just read in the book of James, your gold and silver is cankered. All right?
And what do we have now? Air. We have a belief system. We don't even know how much gold we have. We have
debt.
nothing.
We have debt. Yeah, that's how we operate. We don't even have air. We have debt. We have a negative version of air.
Right. So again, we've gone over this story about the Fort Worth and the gold collection. It's really good. We'll do it another time if you want, because it's a crazy story that seems like it should be on Netflix, but it's real. So again, U.S. dollar became the world's currency. And, there were warnings about this all along. We chose to ignore them. When the U.S. became the dollar became the world currency, that happened in 1944 at the Bretton Woods Agreement. But in the 1960s, a Belgian-American economist named Robert Triffin warned about exactly what is happening. And I think it's worth reminding ourselves of what the Triffin dilemma is. This is from Carol Roth's most recent book, You Will Own Nothing. The Triffin dilemma from Robert Triffin acknowledges the challenges of the country that issues the world's reserve currency between balancing the interests of policy that benefit their domestic economy with the responsibility of keeping that currency as good as gold for the countries around the world that depend on its stability. So we've taken that good as gold and we pissed all over it. That's basically what we've done, because the world has to trust you if you are going to be the world's global reserve currency, and we don't care. So we cannot you can't serve two masters. That's what the Triffin dilemma is. We've been warned about this now for almost 50 years and have done nothing about it. So this is exactly where we are.
Right. So they're just bringing a squeeze. All right. Beautiful times. Let's get a few more things. All right. CDC warns of imminent plague demic. Okay. Here we go. So, plagues. Okay, these are plagues, and they're being brought on by the plague himself, Esau Edom. Let's see. The plague bacterium known as Yersinia pestis can be transmitted by fleas, rodents, prairie dogs, squirrels, rats, and rabbits. According to them, humans usually become infected through the bite of a rodent or flea, all right, which the mosquitoes are going crazy lately. All right, you don't know, it could be a mosquito they created somewhere, putting something. That's why we just need the Lord, man, at the end of the day. All right, these are all the plagues that the Lord promised he would send, and here we are again. We're in the new Egypt again, and the plagues are back. We already read that. Alphabet Plus leaders signed treaty with the WEF to accept pedos as legally protected minority. Let's look at a little bit of this. But we're crazy, right?
LGBTQ plus leaders are officially recognising paedophiles as part of the club, following World Economic Forum pressure to accept minor attracted persons as legally protected minorities. According to the WEF, criticising paedophiles is hate speech, and governments must crack down on anybody who refuses to accept minor attracted persons in their community. As children are paraded in front of paedophiles at pride festivals around the world, it's time to make a stand and protect our children from the monsters who are determined to prey on them without any consequences. Before we dive in, subscribe. Want to see what the global elite's paedophilic fever dreams look like in the cold light of day? Hundreds of millions of dollars of taxpayer money is being spent on pro-paedophilia groups in WF-infiltrated Canada, while ordinary hard-working families struggle to put food on the table amid an orchestrated cost of living crisis.
Is this not the man of sin being revealed?
Paedophiles have been emboldened by the elite. On June the 12th, a woman named Shayna called into the iHeartRadio Bex and Buster show and declared her unwavering support for paedophiles, urging society to abolish the stigma that surrounds them. It just so happens that Shayna works for the International Paedophile and Child Emancipation Organization, a well-funded group that's working for the so-called emancipation of paedophiles and the children who these sickos believe want to have sexual relationships with them.
I work with IPCE. If you don't know, that's International Pedophile and Child Emancipation. And our goal is to abolish the stigmatization of people with pedophilic sexual interests and normalizing the potential role in moderating pedophiles' emotional well-being. I know that's a mouthful.
So the Biden administration has pretty much helped fulfill Sodom and Egypt. Okay, the Sodomite is sea. All right, this is what we're witnessing.
Wait, before we
Okay.
get any further.
What are we saying right now?
Yeah, sounds disgusting. Are you saying you're a pedophile?
No, I'm not saying that I'm a pedophile in the sense that I've never.
And what we found out over these last years is that pedos ain't just creepy old men. And a lot of older, all right, Edomite black women have been caught, all right, messing with little children, man. This is the worst thing going, man. Okay, and they all of these children that go missing, this is what they're a part of. This is what's happening in the world that we live in. Okay, and nobody says nothing. Okay, over here in America alone, over 800,000. You know, they say 300 to 400,000. I'm gonna double that. Children go missing a year. Where the hell are they at? Where are they going? You just had a situation where about 200 children were rescued. Let's see if I can find that. It's not even a big story in the news. Hell, we just had the Grammys, right? Or the Oscars, or whatever the hell it is. And they didn't mention there was a movie that came out not too long ago, which they all are part of the agenda anyway. But it was exposing some of the evils that go on, all right? And it brought out a true story of how these pedo rings work. Where they get these children into these modeling agencies. I forget the name of that movie, man. Let's see here real quick. What was that movie? It just came out recently, man. It just came out recently, man. Let's see, 2023. Is it 2023? Sounds of Freedom. Why hasn't this been nominated for any type of, if they care about the children? 200 critically missing children recovered. All right. And this ain't even a big story. Trafficking victims. This is madness. We are in hell, man.
Or had sexual relations with a person underage.
But you're saying we should accept
because
pedophiles?
that's illegal. Well, I just don't believe we should be shunning those in our community that have desires to engage in a romantic relationship with someone in a drastically different age group.
So you're saying you support pedophiles?
I'm saying I support love.
Okay.
And just because America views ages like 18 as some sort of imaginary bar or line in the sand.
And these people will be messing with newborns, 4-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 8-year-olds. Madness. And freaking off. The Catholic Church, where's the big cry out against that madness, man? But you can look at, more of this, man. This is crazy. This is insane. We're in hell. Fuck it. I have nothing to lose. Minor attracted person's pride.
The online paedophile community has constructed their own flag and often describe their attraction to children as sexual orientation rather than as.
And they have studies. You can look up Alfred Kinsey, all right, that say newborns can enjoy sex. And that science is rooted in the earth, man. Tick species that can cause meat allergy and other illness spreading across the U.S. So we'll leave it there, man. Joy Reid, I'd vote for Biden if he was literally dead. Whoopi Goldberg, I can't wait to vote for Poopy Pants Biden this November. Yeah, this guy, Jimmy Savile. All right, look him up. A complete creep who they covered up his crimes. This dude used to have keys to, hospitals where, disabled children were. Freaking off, man. Biden doing a number 2 on himself. This is madness, man. So I just wanted to go and what's the scripture say? Let the wickedness of the wicked. I forgot to bring this one out about the dollar. Jeremiah 51:44. I will punish Baal in Babylon and will bring it forth out of his mouth that which he swallowed up, and the nation shall not flow together any more unto him. So this place is through, man. Sodom. Genesis 18:20. And the Lord said, because of the cry of Sodom or Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grievous. And the cry is what they clamor themselves in, what they boast themselves in, man. Revelation 11:8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. So we're in that spiritual Sodom and Egypt. But we also woke up in this spiritual Sodom and Egypt, Babylon the Great. All right, where our Lord was crucified and the ways of righteousness were crucified, man. And remember, Sodom and Gomorrah was an example, all right, of what's coming. Luke 17:29. But the same day Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. So it's letting you know the environment that we're going to be in is going to be freaky. Because Sodom means to burn. They burn in their lust to do any and everything they want to do, man. So I just wanted to bring out a few things, nothing too deep, John Cedar competing in women's weightlifting. That dude's a master troll. Nearly 10 billion passwords leaked. It may be the biggest data set of its kind ever. So what does that mean? All right, they need a peace and safety. Floods in Sudan. CDC issues urgent fever warning. 41 travelers in New Jersey infected. Ammo vending machines. Wow. They just setting it. Everybody's divided. Now you got a damn vending machine, not with corn chips, not with Doritos, not with a Twix, but ammo. All right, you ready to put a hole up in the mama? Anyway, banks are closing. Hey, we here, man. So, shalom.